Good morning, everyone. Good morning to Radio Land. Good morning to our distinguished listeners. It is indeed a great honor for us to be here this morning on another important discussion of health talk. I don't want to brush you out. There is something that you should know. You are covered in germs, your entire body, everything about you. Disgusting, yes or no? Some germs can be hurtful, although some can be dangerous, very dangerous and deadly. There are germs like bacteria, viruses, protozoa, and fungi. Modern medicine is pretty much amazing. There are a bunch of diseases that we don't even think about anymore because of the evidence in science, such as measles, mumps, rubella, tetanus, polio, and hepatitis. That's because vaccine protect us. These diseases are real but are not common. So what happens when germs invade your body? Today we are going to discuss immunization for children. We'll talk about the effects of not vaccine or the effect of not doing vaccinations and what can be done to prepare parents' mind to assess or to fully take responsibility of vaccinating their children. We have with us in studio our dynamic guest panelists that will take us through this all important topic. Our panelist comprises of a registered nurse, a lecturer at the Smart Institute of Management and Technology teaching pediatric nursing and tropical communicable diseases. He's also the special assistant to the college president. He's currently doing his master program at the Mother Patent College of Health Sciences. Next to him is another registered nurse, a clinical supervisor, and associate lecturer. He's also teaching pediatric nursing at the Smart Institute of Management and Technology. So to be part of this all important discussions, the numbers to call is 0770-107-107, 0886-107-107. Don't forget to subscribe to our Facebook page, Mama Alume Health Talk platform. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, Mama Alume Health Talk platform. So sit back, relax, and listen to this educated health talk coming to you just after a short break. I am Mama Alume, and this is Health Talk.
This is my song about what you put in, you get out. You for welfare if you.
And welcome back to today's edition of Health Talk. The Mama Alume Health Talk platform is a 1 hour program that discusses a wide range of health-related issues. We bring you face-to-face with health professionals and provide you with causes, signs, and symptoms, complications, and preventions of diseases and illnesses affecting us in our respective community. On today's edition of Health Talk, we're going to discuss vaccination, especially pediatric vaccination. So today we are talking about vaccination. We are not necessarily talking about the booster war right now. It is vaccination for COVID, or we are going to talk about the other required vaccination for growing up children. So I have with me in studio a registered nurse. He's also an instructor at the Smart Institute Technology and Management, and he's the special assistant to the college dean. He's also in the Mother Patent College of Health Sciences where he's reading his master program. He's nobody else but those are Nurse Choco Iki. Mr. Choco King, welcome to Health Talk.
Thank you very much.
Next to him is another registered nurse. He's also a young professional we're trying to make an impact into the health system in Liberia. He's known as Mr. Lavasha P. Saba. Lavasha P. Saba, welcome to Health Talk.
Thank you.
So today we are going to talk about nursing for especially children. We all know that vaccination for children is very important. But before going further, I just want you to take up, because when we talk about immunization, maybe the word is so big to the extent that most people doesn't understand what we're talking about. So in a layman thing for the librarian knowledge, when we talk about immunization, what are we talking about? What is immunization?
All right, thank you very much. You see, the word immunization came about when the world started to find solution to seeing how best children and other people can be prevented against diseases if or when exposed. So the simple term immunization means making sure that the children or other people are protected against diseases if or when exposed.
So why is it important for children?
Vaccines or immunization programs are very important because children in they are a group of people who refer to as susceptible hosts. Susceptible hosts are those who have weak immune system, and these people are vulnerable to a lot of illnesses, and children are of no exception. So group of people who refer to as susceptible hosts include children under 5 years of age, because they have not gotten the natural immunity from the environment, which we call adaptive immunity, and also elderly. Elderly are also predisposed, and also those who suffer from immunocompromised illnesses like HIV and AIDS. All of these group of people are called susceptible hosts. And now coming back to children, when a child is born, they are born with an immunity called innate immunity. And this innate immunity is not enough to 100% provide them or protect them against all of the diseases that we find within the environment. So vaccination become very important because it helps to prevent them against some of the diseases we find within our environment.
Okay, thank you so much for that very clarity. Now come back to Lavasha. Lavasha, today we're discussing vaccination or immunization. What do parents do if their children are behind on their immunization schedule? What do they do?
You are asking if a parent is miss a date of their immunization.
Very good.
So when you look at, first of all, every country has its own schedule for immunization.
Sure.
Fine. So when you look at the schedule for Liberia immunization, you got from zero year, you got from 6 months, you got 10 months, and you got 14 months, right? So if a child is born and this child was to take the BCG and the how you call it polio 0 vaccine, and they miss that vaccine, in that time, that 1 week time, in that week the child was born, that vaccine can still be administered to them.
Okay.
But whereas it has gone a month, then it means that the child will miss that vaccine.
So whenever the parents miss the date of the vaccine, they have to go back to the health center or the hospital to go and get that vaccine back.
Yeah, within that week.
Okay.
Yes. It shouldn't go a month, because if they go a month.
I do believe that every vaccine card or vaccination card have the date of return.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Additionally, we don't want people messing up on schedule. We also always want to encourage people to be able to carry their children in time. That's the reason why we put the return dates on the card. Because there's something called partial immunization and something called full immunization.
Yeah.
So if a child messes up on a day and the vaccine can no longer be given to that child may be partially immunized and not fully immunized.
Okay, Mr. King, we're talking about vaccination here. There are how many required vaccination for children in before reaching the age of 1 year? How can this vaccination be given?
Yeah, we have the first one there that we talk about is the BCG, that is the Bacillus calmette-guerin. It is administered at birth, and it takes up to 11 months to still give it to a child. And also we have the OBV, that is the oral polio vaccine. It is also given at birth, 6 weeks, 10 weeks, and 14 weeks, as Lavasha previously said. We also have the pneumo vaccine. We also give to a child the same routine, 6, 10, and 14 weeks. And then we have another vaccine called the pentavalent. And the pentavalent, it contains 5 vaccines. The reason it carries the prefix penta. So it has 5 vaccines in it, which includes the diphtheria, the pertussis, and that of tetanus. Recently, 2 other vaccines were added to it through technology. And those 2 additional vaccines that were added to make it 5, is the hepatitis B vaccine and that of the Haemophilus influenza type B. So these 5 vaccines make up the pentavalent. It is also given in similar time frame. Most recently, the rotaviral vaccine was also added to the list, and the rota helped to prevent children against those diarrhea diseases. Now, it is also given in similar time frame. Then we also have the other 2 vaccines that are administered at 9 months. That is the measles and that of the yellow fever. So those are the vaccines that are administered in time frame before the child reaches 1 year.
So if the parents don't carry their child for this vaccine, is there any effect on the child?
Yeah, that's what I previously said. The child will be partially immunized, and if a child is partially immunized, it shows that the child is still vulnerable, because the thing we're trying to avoid is vulnerability to a disease if or when exposed. So that child is partially immunized, meaning that child is vulnerable.
Okay, so far there are a lot of misconceptions out there that many parents don't believe in vaccination. Many parents don't take their children for vaccination. So what advice do you have for parents that are under your voice this morning, especially when it comes to giving a full vaccination to their children?
Thank you. Most of our people, they don't go to the health center and get education from there. They believe on what others will say to them. So most of our people, they will not believe in vaccine. But what I have to say to them today is, we still have polio around Liberia, even around Africa. We have measles around. We have yellow fever. And if a child is not fully vaccinated, like Mr. King said, you make them prone to these diseases. And we all know that, like Mr. King said, if a child is from 1 year to 5 years, their immune system is not adequate enough to fight or to defend their entire body. So if the child is not fully immunized, it makes them prone to these diseases. And my advice to parents on my voice is that if you have a health center closer to your area, please take your child for vaccine, because the vaccine will not only help your child, but will also help the environment. It will also help the community. It will also help the country. It will also help the next generation to come. Because if the child is not vaccinated and get prone to these diseases, and maybe the child came down with one of these diseases that were to be prevented by the vaccine, the child might die.
Okay.
So it is good that you take the child for vaccination whenever the schedule is due.
All right. Additionally, people, we started having the issue of vaccine hesitancy recently, especially when the COVID came up, and then people started to talk about the COVID vaccine. Other parents started to become reluctant, and then we realized that routine vaccine were one way or the other reduced. People are not taking that routine vaccine, and in that time frame, especially between March of 2020, it started to cause serious problem to the health sector, because just as Mr. Saba said, if you do not vaccinate a child, that child gets a disease, there's a possibility of transmission, either a direct transmission or an indirect transmission. And one of the things we want people to understand about this issue of a vaccine is, we remember down the line we started to talk about our body fighting against diseases. Down in grade school, we talk about red blood cells, we talk about white blood cells.
Yeah.
And our main focus during that period was on the white blood cell. And that part of the white blood cell that actually protect a child or a person against a disease is the lymphocytes. Because when we go down into the white blood cell, there are 5 different classification or categories of the white blood cell: the neutrophil, the eosinophil, the basophil, the monocytes, and that of the lymphocyte. The lymphocyte is the key thing there that we want to see how best we build up, because it is the lymphocyte that help to provide additional or confer immunity for a person or a child. So that's the reason why we want people taking their children, because the vaccines that we give to children, they are either live vaccines, which are attenuated, or they are kill vaccines. So when these vaccines are given to the child or to children, what happens next is it stimulates a reaction within the body, and the body produces what we call antibody. It is this antibody that will now help to prevent the body against further infection if or when exposed. So that's why we advise people take the children for vaccine. We agree that some people are afraid that they will have some side effects or some symptoms. Yes, we agree that these symptoms will exist, like fever, like little headache. Yes, we expect them. That's the reason why we give them our paracetamol syrup when they are going home, because we know that these things will exist. And the reason they exist is because we are putting an agent into you, which is a foreign antigen, but you have been attenuated in the lab. So it means that it's safe. They have been tested and safe. So the child takes the vaccine, build up the immunity, and now they are no longer able to come down with the disease.
So here's my next question: which vaccine are not taken in case of egg allergy? To Mr. King, in
Which
case
vaccine?
of egg allergy, which vaccine are not taken for children, especially for children, because you know this.
If a child is having an allergy or is having a sickness, we advise not to vaccinate them for that time frame. Yeah, because we know that your body is already fighting with another issue. So because of that reason, we one way or the other delay the period before vaccinating you.
Okay.
Yeah, and to add to Mr. Kim, even the adult, even an adult person, if you want to take a vaccine, like for example the COVID vaccine, they will ask you if you are personally experiencing an illness, right? Because they don't want to give you the vaccine so that it may not cause additional problem on you. So if a child is sick or if a child is experiencing allergies, they don't give the vaccine at that time. They await the child to get well before the vaccine is administered to them.
All right, thank you so much. You want to come in?
Yeah, let me get a little point. So more on the issue, we gain immunity in different forms, and we have natural immunity, and we also have artificial immunity. And the vaccine business we are talking about, it is an artificial immunity, because we all know that the vaccine is being prepared in a laboratory setting. Okay, but natural immunity, almost everybody who has natural immunity. For example, if you have a condition and you recover from that condition, you build the immunity right away. Like some people who survive from COVID, they have a natural immunity. Others who survive from Ebola, they develop a natural immunity. So natural immunity can also be active or passive. An active immunity is an immunity in which you build on your own naturally, while passive immunity is an immunity that will built by someone else and you confer it on another person. So vaccination falls on artificial active immunity.
So in my introduction, I said some germs are helpful to our body, and also some germs are harmful to our body. So I just want you to distinguish between these two, because most people feel that when you take vaccination or when you get vaccinated, maybe you are killing all of the germs within you. So most people just feel shy away from vaccination. Some people feel that when you take vaccination, especially when they carry their children, like what my brother was saying, the child will maybe get a headache or fever. They don't feel afraid, oh, because of this vaccine, my child got sick, so I'm not going to take my child to the hospital again to get another vaccine. So I just want you to do this clarity for us. Why it is important for us to get this vaccination, and which one is harmful and which one is helpful for us?
All right, thank you very much. So it is necessary that we go and get the vaccination, go through the campaigns and go through the process, because the benefit outweigh the risks. So there are more benefits of being vaccinated than not being vaccinated. So almost all of the vaccines that we take that have been approved by Gavi, that is the Global Alliance for Vaccine and Immunization, and approved by being used in Liberia by MOH, all of them, once they were now good and effective, they won't be brought to the public. But it is good and effective, that's the reason the public take them. But there are other germs, as we are talking about, that already exist within the body that are of importance. Like we have the Escherichia coli that lives in the GI tract. They are there and responsible to help to break down some of the food contents that people take in. So some germs actually live within the body, and they are there and they are not moving from one place to another. If they remove from one area where they reside and go to another place, then it becomes a problem. Like we got something called normal flora. So we have the resident flora, like the Escherichia coli that lives in the GI tract, and we have other flora called transient flora. That is, they don't live to a particular place, but when they move and go to another place, it causes a problem. Okay, so those are the kind of germs that we have within the body. But vaccine help to prevent people against a lot of diseases.
Okay.
Yeah, to add to what Mr. King was saying, vaccines are given for a specific purpose. So you will not take measles vaccine thinking that it will prevent you from getting diarrhea. No. So every vaccine that is administered because of a specific purpose to prevent a particular disease.
Okay. If you are on our vote this morning, we are discussing health talk, especially vaccination for children. To be part of the discussions, the numbers to call is 0770 107 107 0886 107 107. You can call and share your experience on vaccination, or you want to know any question concerning vaccination, you can also call and ask our studio guests all of your questions about vaccination. So please, the number is 0770 107 107 0886 107 107. If you are outside Liberia and you want to be part of the all important discussion, you can also call our WhatsApp number +231 880 571 223. That's our WhatsApp number +231 880 571 223. So the phone line is open. You can now start sending in your calls while we continue our discussion. Okay, lately we gotta understand that even the COVID vaccine, there are vaccines for children, right? I don't know if it's in Africa, it's in Liberia, but I learned that there's a vaccine for children. So can you just elaborate on that, Mr. King?
Yeah, almost all of the vaccines that have been produced for the COVID, when you go and read the label there, they will tell you above maybe 16, above 18. So most of them, they are not in Africa for now. We are not seeing any that have been produced for children. Recent, the US sent out 302,400 doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine to Liberia, and that's how people started to take their vaccine. But for children currently in Liberia, we have not seen doses prepared for them. But the reason why I think they started to go back to fix the ones for children, because we started to hear news that in the US, our children started to really experience the COVID more than our young adults. So maybe that's the reason why they started to prepare doses for children.
Okay, what's about, even though we are not talking about that now, but I just want to dive into it a little bit. You see pregnant women going to the hospital and getting their TT1, TT2. So, and we also noticed that in high school, or maybe like in a large gathering, like you see people passing around encouraging young girls to take the TT vaccine. So both young girls and boys though, but they really focus, and you hear the myth that they are trying to give all the vaccine to reproduce. Can you please elaborate on that?
Yeah, the TT there, which is the tetanus toxoid,
Yeah.
it is a vaccine that actually is just like all of vaccines. It helps to just allow girls, young girls or boys or pregnant women from coming down with tetanus. And we all know tetanus has serious complications. It causes about lockjaw and other issues. So because of its complications, we try to see how best we give it to people as early as possible. And the reason why we focus on female gender is because female are most of the time in the habit of working with cooking utensils, like for example knives. So it's possible you may be cutting or slicing a green and you mistakenly cut yourself. Okay, and we don't know the Clostridium tetani. It may live on anything. It's not only limited to living on things that are rusty. No, okay. The Clostridium tetani actually lives in the soil, and it gets onto any other thing that the oxygen in it have reduced. So once the Clostridium tetani starts to live on maybe your cooking utensil,
Yeah, to add to Mr. King, you notice that when a woman goes to give birth, there are so many instruments that are used on her, right? So, like the cutting of the cord, there are scissors, there are surgical blades and other instruments that are used during the time of delivering. So the TT vaccine is administered to prevent this, the transmission of tetanus through that process. So that's one of the reasons why they focus on the pregnant women with the TT vaccine. Okay,
so do vaccine cause autism? I think this is a question, the kind of question that is circulating on social media right now, and this news been going for a while. So can you please elaborate on that interview?
Yeah, you said autism, right?
Autism.
It's a neurological disorder. Well, it has not been proven scientifically because we've been trying to read some articles to see the connection between autism and that of vaccination. But it has not been scientifically proven by any current articles. But I myself have heard the issue, and then I tried reading on it, but there is nothing genuine to actually tell yes, autism is somehow related to vaccination.
Okay, the numbers to call and be part of this show is 0770-107-107-0886-107-107. Don't forget to also leave your Facebook message live on our Facebook page. We're going to read all of your messages on live. And keep calling, keep your call coming through so that we all can discuss this all important topic. Today we are talking about vaccination for children. You can also call and ask all of the questions you want to know about vaccination, please. To those that are calling my phone number, please stop calling on my phone number. You can call on the studio number 0770-107-107-0886-107-107. These are the number you can call on. Do not call on my personal phone number because I'm not going to answer you. So let us come back in studio though. What advice do you have for parents when it comes to immunization for children? What encouragement do you have for them?
Okay, for parents who feel like vaccine will cause different problems for their children, what I do advise is that vaccine, it is not harmful. What do I say? What am I saying?
Good morning, your name and where are you calling from? Good morning, your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, your name and where are you calling from? Please be louder. Yeah, Tama, welcome to Health Talk. Good morning, welcome to Health Talk. Oh, we lost that caller. You were so low. Good. So you can still send your call in 0770-107-107-0886-107-107. Please call on the studio number. Do not call on my WhatsApp or my messenger number. Please call on the studio number 0770-107-107-0886-107-107. If you're outside Liberia and you want to be part of this all important discussion, you can also call our studio WhatsApp number +231-880-571-223. That's our studio WhatsApp number. So you can also call on it so that we can continue. Yes,
you ask the advice to give to.
We gotta go. Good morning, your name and where are you calling from? Oh my God. Yeah, let's continue.
Yeah, my advice to parents is that, firstly, vaccine are not harmful. That's the first thing we should have in mind. Because if it were harmful, the health sector was not going to approve it to come to Liberia. So vaccine are given to prevent children from coming down with diseases like the measles, like the yellow fever, like the pneumonia, the tuberculosis, and so on. So if you deny a child from taking vaccine, it means that you are allowing your child to get sick at any time. So it is good that when you hear about a vaccine being administered, or when you check your vaccine schedule, it is good that you take the child to the hospital to be vaccinated so that the child may be free from sicknesses.
Okay, Mr. King, there are a lot of rumors and misconceptions about the COVID vaccine because we're talking about vaccination, so I just want to include this. There's a lot of rumors and misconceptions about the whole COVID vaccine issue. That people are saying the vaccine is not real, the vaccine is fake, the vaccine is this, the vaccine is that, and most of them complain that when they take the vaccine, they feel sick or they got negative feeling about the vaccine. What do you have to tell the Liberian people about the importance of this whole COVID vaccine?
Yeah, the COVID vaccine, I want to encourage everyone that to go and take a shot if you are not, because we have something in our TNC in the public health issue called herd immunity. That is when you immunize 90 to 95% of the population. So once a large amount of people have been vaccinated, the few can infect the majority. So we want to ensure that we reach that number and we are still encouraging people to go and take it. We've been having the issue of vaccine hesitancy, as I was saying earlier. People have been hesitant to go and take it because of the myth that they hear. And mind you, even vaccines that children take, they are side effects.
Yeah.
Even medicine that we take, they are side effects. So side effects are linked to a lot of the food, medicine, things that we're taking. So we urge or we encourage people to go and take their vaccine because it will help to prevent them from the COVID. And now we have the Johnson & Johnson is very effective. It has a good amount of efficacy.
And the Johnson & Johnson is one dose.
One single, yeah, that's a single dose. So you can go and take your shot. Any of the government hospitals around here, you can take your shot.
So let's just clear this because we are on air now. There's another rumors that is going on, a misconception. They say when you take the vaccine, you're going to live for 2 years, and after that 2 years, you're going to die.
No.
So can you just clear that?
Those are all conspiracy theories.
Okay.
Yeah, people come up with the conspiracy theory and thinking that they want to play on the minds of the majority. And mind you, many a time people just send false messages on social media and just forward them to your inbox and tell you all kinds of things about maybe connecting it with end time and making it so spiritual. No, this is science, and that's what we believe in. Once you take the vaccine, you become less vulnerable to coming down with the condition. It is true that others will take the vaccine and still have issues, and the reason they will have issues because everybody don't have the same genetic makeup.
So like Mr. King was saying, on people linking it to spiritual belief. I was in Grand Bazaar. One time I went to Grand Bazaar Hospital and I was like, I wanted the t-shirt to get tea to eat. And then it was the first time they were talking about the COVID vaccine. And then this guy was telling me that when you take the COVID vaccine, at the site on which you take the vaccine, when you take a flourishing bulb and you just lay it there, the bulb come up. So I was like, wow. How possible is this? How possible is this? I told him, I said, the vaccine can no way put a light bulb on. Because
What is light bulb?
the flourishing bulb,
When you take the vaccine, it will come on.
at the site they used to give to the minister of the vaccine. If you just take the bulb and just put it at that site, the bulb will come up. It was some kind of videos circulating on social media.
Oh wow.
Yes.
So do lactating mother take the vaccine also? Women that are breastfeeding.
So let me just come in.
I don't think I've been.
Mostly there are some problems when it comes to, there are some restrictions when it comes to breastfeeding mothers. Some medications, some vaccine they don't take when it comes to breastfeeding mothers. So on the aspect of the COVID vaccine, although I've not seen it around, but breastfeeding mothers, they are exempted
From the COVID vaccine.
vaccine.
Okay. Oh, please do not WhatsApp or call on my number. You can call on our studio number 0770-107-107-0886 107-107. If you want to be part of the show, please call on the studio number. If you're outside Liberia, you want to be part of the discussions, our WhatsApp number to call is +231 880-571-223. That's our WhatsApp number. So you can also call and be part of this all important discussion. You want to come in?
Yeah. I want to make an addition. I think we should be grateful to Gavi, that is the Global Alliance of Vaccines and Immunization. We should be grateful to USAID. We should be grateful to other organizations that are helping and working to ensure that vaccines are being produced and given to people. Because if you did back 20 to 30 years ago, there were a lot of cases that we had about a lot of these vaccine preventable diseases, especially conditions like poliomyelitis. There are a lot of polio cases in the last 20 to 30 years. But you realize that in the 21st century, we are having less cases. It is the introduction of vaccination that helped to reduce that. If you did back, you realize that there are a lot of measles cases, a lot of measles outbreak. But now, once we have one measles case, we have reached its threshold, and we're now calling what infill. there were a lot of cases 20 to 30 years back, but because of the introduction of vaccine since the 2000 coming upward, we have seen that there have been transmedial reduction in these cases. Of recent, there was another new vaccine that was produced, and
Good morning, your name and where are you calling from? Yeah, welcome to Health Talk.
Yes, I want to know concerning the vaccine for the children.
Yeah.
Maybe you give breast. So when you give breast, you're not opportune for the child to take the first vaccine until they can reach the age of woman. They can still take it when they reach woman.
Okay, thank you for that beautiful question, and our guest lecturer going to answer your question. Thank you so much.
all right, thank you for that question. So as we said, we have vaccines that are given at birth, and they include the BCG and that of the OPV, that is the oral polio vaccine. The BCG, it has a duration from at birth up to 11 months. So once you don't get it at birth, in your own time, you can still go and get it. Just go to the nearest facility. Okay?
Yeah,
so as I was saying, there are a lot of vaccine preventable diseases that already raged during the 2000 or back then. But now, because of vaccine being produced and we are using them, there have been tremendous reduction in these cases, like measles cases, yellow fever cases. Now we don't see a lot of people moving around with weak limbs, which we should be very, very grateful for vaccines being produced. And there's a new vaccine.
Good morning, your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, my name is Hira Pele. I'm calling from Kowe.
Yeah, Hannah, welcome to Health Talk.
Oh, give God the glory. Thank you. What I would like to find out about the coronavirus vaccine is that I would like to know whether a 15-year-old child, is opportunity to take it.
Okay, thank you so much. Keep listening to Health Talk, and our guests will discuss that.
Thank you.
So to that question, yes, a 15-year-old child can take it. So the vaccine is administered from 15 years upward.
Okay.
All right. So as we're saying, there are new vaccines being produced, and we still hope and pray that other vaccines, people are still working on it, as like the malaria. Currently, the Melinda and Gates Foundation, they are working on things to see how best
they can
produce
a
a vaccine for malaria.
Yeah.
Currently, we have the typhoid.
Typhoid.
Was just produced, the TCV.
Yeah.
The typhoid conjugate vaccine. And children from 15 years above, they were just issuing a few months back.
Okay.
So we are so grateful for vaccine we produce, and we'll be happy if vaccine will be produced for almost all of the conditions around the world.
Okay.
Then we'll be into prevention more than cure.
More than cure, yeah. And prevention is actually better than cure.
Yes.
So this is what I've observed in Liberia. You see most young people coming down with hepatitis. You see more hepatitis is the fastest growing virus among us now.
Sure.
So you and we also have a vaccine for hepatitis. Our children on fire, they'll say adults that go to hospital and take hepatitis, there are classes of hepatitis we get from A almost like to E. Yeah, because they are, I think, new to whatever we have from A to D, now we have from A to D to E. So this vaccine for hepatitis are all one category, or they are separated in segment?
Well, for the children, receive their dose through the pentavalent.
Yeah.
So the children already have their own dose within the pentavalent.
Okay.
But they have the hepatitis A virus, B. Those are just 5 different strains of the hepatitis, and B being the most dangerous strain of them all because of its mode of transmission.
Yeah.
So we have the vaccine, and the vaccine, there are categories. So they have those who take the hepatitis B vaccine. That will prevent them against that strain. Yeah. But
and the B is more dangerous,
because of its mode of transmission.
Transmitted through sweat.
Yeah, because in your contagious, in your fulminant state, where the person is in an acute state, they can be able to give it out.
Wow. You want to come in? You want to say something?
Yeah, like previously we discussed about specific vaccine for a specific disease, right? So the hepatitis, like Mr. King was saying, because of the different strains, you cannot give the A vaccine to a person suffering from hepatitis B. So every strain has its own vaccine. But for now, they are targeting the B because it is more dangerous than the others.
Okay, looking at our country, Liberia, are people really accessible to vaccination? Do people really have access to vaccination?
Yeah, we should give hats off to the Ministry of Health because they have vaccine team, especially during vaccination season. We have vaccine team that go to this hard to reach area, and also some of the NGOs also work with the ministry, and they go to this hard to reach area. People move on canoes, people move on motorbikes. We have CHSS, we have CHAs, we have volunteers who go to this hard to reach area with the vaccine, and they go with their cool box because the vaccine should be kept at a temperature of -2 to -8 degrees Celsius. So it should be kept in that time frame. So they go to this hard to reach area and ensure that vaccines are given to children in those places. So they are accessible.
When we look at the scale of knowledge when it comes to vaccine in Liberia, our population, our people really knowledgeable about this vaccine? Because you will see some houses, they will do an outreach to a specific area or location. Then you will hear the parent, I'm not giving my child a vaccine. In fact, I'm not taking your vaccine, your goal. So are people really knowledgeable about this vaccine?
Yes, people are really knowledgeable about the vaccine, but the thing about it is perception. You get me? So if Mr. King and I were living in a rural area, and then I gave my child vaccine, I went to the hospital and administered vaccine to my child, and I came home. We all know that fever is associated with vaccine, right? And then I came home, my child came down with fever. And then Mr. King saw my child with fever. Mr. King mind is already made up that it is because of that vaccine that was administered to my child that causes the fever, right? And
good morning, your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Good morning, your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Edwin calling from Toronto.
Yeah, Edwin, welcome to Health Talk.
I don't know whether the COVID-19 vaccine you're discussing about because you're late.
We're just discussing vaccination in general.
Oh, because I took the vaccine for Cali Hospital since October 22 up to now I get my card.
But you went back to Kelly Hospital?
Yeah, I went there on 2 occasions. I asked them up to this time, each time they gave Geneva, I went to Geneva, she don't who gave me it. Each time I asked her, she always tell me, oh, I think you're putting check by, if I check by up to this time, I can get it.
so
Okay, just keep doing follow up and just go there and do follow up. They're going to give it to you.
And also make me say I don't really want to encourage other people to take it. A lot of people want to take it, but because of my health, I'm really encouraging people. So I will check back and see.
Yeah, please do follow and
Please,
encourage
please,
other
please
people to
encourage
take the
others.
vaccine
Encourage
because
people.
the
If I
vaccine.
didn't get my card, then what should I encourage? The first 2 months now, I didn't get my card.
Sometimes people get stuck out of materials.
Yeah.
So
but the last time I checked, they was not giving the card directly. They were giving, you give your email, you give your
And the
phone
email.
number, yeah, and the link comes to your phone, and then you click on the link and you go and get your card online. That's how I got my card. I did not receive the hard copy of it.
When we
Okay.
first started, we were giving all the hard copies.
I did not
Okay.
receive hard copy. I received soft copy of my card. I got it in my
Okay.
phone.
This is why I asked the question if people are knowledgeable, because sometimes when the people come to the health center, to the hospital, to the clinic, I think it is our responsibility as health workers to also educate them on these things, right? This vaccine is important. You have to give the child this vaccine. It will save the child from XYZ diseases or viruses, right? And like in this main case, maybe his card, they are not giving card directly to patient. They have to email the card. Maybe when you educate the man, say, oh, you will get your card at certain level, or you can get your card, we can hand deliver the card to you. You have to download your card or get your card to this website, then maybe the person can go there. But all just start with the education. We have to see how best we can educate people, because you hear a lot of negative vibes when it comes to hospitals and clinic. I think education is our main priorities in this whole vaccination issue. When the knowledge go around, when people got to understand it, they themselves will encourage their children, because you see, most children are afraid of vaccine, especially the one that they take in the muzzle. So most of them, when they see the doctor or the vaccinator, they will run away because they don't want to take it. But when the parent is educated, the parent pass that knowledge on to the child, encourage the child, convince the child is going to take the vaccine. So I think what we need to do, that's the recommendation. We need to keep educating our people, keep talking to them, how best we can make them understand to know the importance of this vaccine. And like Mr. King was saying, measles, mumps, polio, they are all very, very, they stay around. They still exist. But because of these vaccines, that what make them real. We had a year about them, but they are real, right?
Sure. Of recent, I think I was going through a Facebook page, and there was an outbreak of yellow fever in Ghana. Yeah, I think last week I was going through my Facebook page, and I tried to make a follow up on that. Yeah, so right in Ghana, our neighbor, we run to every night, and then yellow fever just broke out. We give the yellow fever vaccine every 10 years as a booster dose to the population.
And one of the stuff again that growing drastically, because I can remember during the rainy season in Liberia, is the Lassa fever. Lassa fever is also on the rise. So these are things that we need to educate the people about, so we can encourage them more to take the vaccine. Because when we all get together and take the vaccine, we're going to be preventing these diseases and viruses. And then we're not focused too much on curative, because the prevention is always better than the curative.
Sure.
So
not to cut you, the vaccine, if you send your child, or if you carry your child to the hospital to be vaccinated, it makes you not to spend more money. Because if a child is prevented against measles or is prevented against diarrhea, and that child maybe came in contact with diarrhea or started to experience diarrhea, the money you must spend may not be equal to a person who was not immunized against diarrhea. So it also helps to save funds.
Okay, so time is fast spent. We are almost going towards the end of these discussions. If you are listening to us, the numbers to call is 0770-107-107-886-107-107. I think if we have a call, we will only take one call now because of time. So, Labasha, let me just get your closing statement and that of your parting comments.
All right. First of all, I would like to say thanks to the Hall of Fame family for having me on air to discuss vaccine importance. And to the public, I will advise everyone that if you have...
Good morning, your name and where are you calling from? Good morning, your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Jay Buddha calling from Conway.
Jay Buddha there, welcome to Health Talk.
Yeah, fine, I'm good, and you?
Yeah, I'm okay. You're live.
Yeah, I wanted to follow up on saying, got his certificate, and I overheard one of your CEO guests is saying that they are not giving people their certificate for these days. These few days I went at the hospital, I took mine, and I got my certificate.
How?
So why is some people giving certificate, then other people can't give certificate? I got this mine here.
Secondly, which hospital?
You say what? They gave you certificate, or they gave you a number to get your certificate out?
Printed my certificate out. I get it with me.
Yeah, they gave you a number, right, to print your certificate out.
I got it from the hospital at GFA.
Okay.
After I did my registration and everything, number sticking to my phone.
Yes.
That's how they're doing it.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Thank you so much. Thank you for that clarity. That's what he's saying. They are not going to hand deliver the certificate after the vaccine, but they will send you the number, and then you will go and print it. They will print the certificate out before they give it to you.
My own was printed at the hospital.
Yeah, that the hospital can print it out, Papa. That the hospital can print it out for you. But they would, like other vaccine, like the TT vaccine, when you take the TT vaccine, immediately they will give you the card.
But the thing I got my card is very easy.
So your card was delivered to you.
Alright, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for that clarity.
A card was delivered to him through a link.
Then
Yes.
you print it all right.
They send the link to his phone, and then when you open the link, the card is displayed.
Yeah.
And then they print it directly from that link and give it to
And
him.
give it to you.
The hospital give it to him because the hospital have access to get to.
Okay.
print
Yeah,
it
that's
out.
why we encourage the guy that said he took his from Captain Hospital to go back there.
Yeah.
Because for me, I worked at Captain Hospital before when I was doing my student nursing. And I know that when it comes to record, we don't play with record. Because these days, it's not only about cat in Captain Hospital, we also deal with electronic device. That most of the devices are on a computer most of the time. So when he go back there and do follow up, I believe that he will get his card.
Yeah.
Probably maybe the information or maybe the way in which it happening to him, I don't know. It may be the hospital fault, it may be his fault, but I don't know. But at least when he do follow up 2-3
we
times,
encourage him
he going to get his card.
So another thing is maybe there was a mistake in the number. The number he gave to
That would
the person who made
Yeah, because most of them, when ask them for phone number, they just give random phone number.
So the number you give is where they will send a link. And that link, when you open it, is where you are going to have your vaccine card.
So the COVID vaccine is not like the TT vaccine. Like the TT vaccine, we take the TT vaccine and they give the card, they send it. The COVID vaccine, they're going to give you a number. This number you will carry in the same hospital. They got another area where they will bring the number out and give it to you. When they give you the number, you open it, you see it display in your phone. So you go to the other area, they will bring the card out and give it to you, my brother. So we all are on the same page. Maybe you just understand it a different way. So, Mr. King, can we get your parting comment out of your closing statement?
Yeah, thank you to the Heart of It family, and thank you for the Mama Lumek Health Talk platform, where we come to discuss a variety of issues ranging from prevention and curative of health. As we leave today, we want to send this message out to mothers, we want to send a message to parents, so that you can be encouraged that when you have a child or you have children, we encourage you to carry them for vaccination. Because once you take a vaccine, it protects the child, it protects the family, it protects the community, it protects our environment, and it protects our country, Liberia. So please go and take your vaccines.
In on time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So this is how we come to the conclusions of today's edition of Health Talk. We're just discussing vaccination, especially for pediatric children. So thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you for all of your calls. Thank you for all the beautiful comments, and keep sending your comments. We are going to respond to each and every one of your comments. We want to take this time to say thank you to the Hot FM family. This show is proudly brought to you by Honorable DJ Blue. We want to say thank you to Honorable DJ Blue for letting us time in studio to always discuss health issues that are affecting our people in our respective community. Thank you so much for being with us. My name is Mamoa Elume, and I am your humble host. Thank you.